In problem 29, we're going to be asked to work with some data and generate a linear regression model for that data. So let's take a look at what we're given. We have a function f of n defined in the following table. N is my input, f of n is my output, and the values are all listed there in the table. Part A, based on this table, determine f of 6, write the specific ordered pair associated with this result. So I'm going to look here in this column, f of 6, according to the table, I'm going to write table equals 26.24. In part B, we're going to use our graphing calculator to determine the equation of the regression line for the given data and round to 3 decimals as needed. So we're going to need to use our regression process to enter these data into our calculator and then compute a linear regression. So going into our calculator, we're at the home screen and we're going to need to enter the data. So I want to press the Stat button, and then Edit is option 1, so I'm going to press Enter. I want to enter the data into columns L1 for n and L2 for f of n. Now I have information in here, you may or may not. So what I'm going to do is use my arrow keys and scroll to the top of the column. I'm going to press Clear and then Enter. Don't press Delete or you're going to have to go through another process to get your column back. I'm going to go to the other column, L1, use the arrow key, press Clear, and then Enter. Now I have a clear set of columns L1 and L2 to enter my data. I'm going to pause the video and do that, and when you come back to the video, you should pause too. You'll see the data in L1 and L2, so you should try that on your calculator as well. Now that I have all the data values entered into my L1 and L2 columns, I'm going to go back to my Stat menu and scroll to the right to the Calculate menu, and then go down to Linear Regression, which is number 4. I'm going to press Enter, and this is asking me my X list, input list is L1, L2 for Y, etc. And I can just press Enter a few times and go down through that list, and then it will calculate my result. Let's be sure we get our number of decimal places correct. We want to write the regression equation in the form f of n equals an plus b. So rounded to 3 decimals, a is 0.322, and then times n plus 24.155. For part C, use your graphing calculator to generate a scatter plot of the data and the regression line on the same screen. We want to use a good window and then draw what we see here. So first, let's go to our y equals, and we need to be sure that our plot 1 is turned on. I'm going to use my arrow to go up to plot 1, and then I'm going to press Enter to highlight plot 1. Notice plot 1 is highlighted. That's going to turn on the scatter plot. I'm going to go back down to y1 and enter 0.322x plus 24.155. So there's my function f of n. Let me go to my window now. My x values go from 0 to 12. So that's what I'm going to use from my window there. My y values, I'm going to go ahead and start at 0. And my max y value is 27.93. So I am going to use 30, just so we get a nice visual. Then all I'm going to have to do is press Graph, and the calculator is going to do the work for me. So we see the scatter plot, that's these squares right here. And then the line should look more like a straight line, but it has to do with our values that we picked for our x-min and x-max and y-min and y-max, why it looks a little crooked. But go ahead and transcribe that, stop the video, transcribe that image over into part C, and then restart the video and double check your work. So what I've done here is to transcribe as best I can the image that was given by the calculator and then indicate the window values here. So you can see that the data from the table are not exactly linear. If they were, the regression line would intersect every one of the data points. So for part D, using your regression equation, determine f of 6. So we want to use this equation here. So I'm going to say f of 6, and that's the regression. REG is equal to 0.322 times 6 plus 24.155. And if I simplify that, I actually get equal to 26.087. Writing the ordered pair, 6, 26.087. And our answer to part E then, it says the answers for A and D should be different. Explain why this is the case. So we have a classic illustration of what happens when we model a set of data with a linear regression equation. If the data that we begin with are not exactly linear, then the values that we're given in our table are not all going to match exactly with the linear regression equation. So how I can explain this is I can say my data are not exactly linear. So the table values will not all match the values from the regression equation.